Well, it is our interview preview show on Gallop TV for this weekend's racing, bringing down the curtain on what has been just an absolutely fabulous Cape summer season. And it is Saturday, the 25th of February, a whole host of feature races. And always a pleasure when we get to chat to Candice Bass-Robinson, who's on the line. Firstly, Candice, thanks for taking up your time on this Friday leading up to the race meeting. And how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks to you, Dees.
All okay on my side. And the horses, the preparation. Before we even touch on your horses, I mean, what a time you guys have had over the last 3-4 months in Cape Town. It was just fabulous to watch.
Yeah, no, we've had an awesome season here. I mean, the change we've had in racing has just been, unbelievably good for racing and such, and I think it's made such a nice sort of vibe for the summer season, whereas the last couple of years we've kind of felt like we're on a downer, and this year it's just brightened everything up, and I think there's a lot of positivity around, and even though there's a lot of negativity around everywhere else with load shedding and goodness knows what at this time, we've kind of, I think, Hollywoodbets and Greg Bortz have done a monumentous job of uplifting racing.
Yeah.
So big thanks to them.
Yeah, a breath of fresh air is what it is down in Cape Town, and long may this success continue. Okay, Candice, we're going to go through your runners from races 3 up to race 9 just briefly, but we're going to concentrate on the Cape Derby firstly, which is race number 8 at 16:15. It's over the obvious 2,000 meters. I see it's got a new sponsor. It's called Splash Out Cape Derby. And you've got the mighty, the powerful, the star in Charles Dickens. Just want to cast your mind back to the King's Plate. And he ran his heart out, but how unlucky was he that day?
Yeah, Dees, he ran as best as he possibly could, and I think, the 2 horses that he basically had to beat on paper, he did pretty comfortably. So, yeah, it just didn't really work out on the day. We were going to give him a break after that, and, that was going to be season done. But I gave him a 2-week break after that, a week in the paddock and a week of trotting, and he freshened up so well after that we decided, there's no reason why he shouldn't take his chances in the Derby, which was always going to be an option. It was either going to be that or the Queen's Plate, and we opted to go for the Queen's Plate. And so, yeah, the fact that he bounced back so nicely, we thought there's no reason why he shouldn't take his chances.
Well, he's shown how versatile he is from the sprint trip up to a mile. I mean, his record is faultless. His last time out, I mean, just, I still watch that replay and I can't believe what I saw. But the next question will be the extra, 400 meters. What's your thinking?
Well, obviously he hasn't been the trip, which always gives you a little bit of a question mark, regardless of what I think. On pedigree, certainly he certainly is bred to get the trip. His siblings pretty much do, and I think at this stage in his own class, I don't see that the 2,000 meters will be a problem for him.
Yeah, because
we've taught him to settle nicely in the running now. It took a little while to get him to understand that he needs to settle, because he can at home. He can get on with it a little bit, and he's learned to switch off incredibly well now, and I think with being able to do that, I don't think that it would be a problem. And he's got such a devastating turn of foot that I don't see it be a problem.
Well, you know what rating he has now, and obviously, that's the main reason that he's possibly, just chased the opposition away. But he's earned this rating over 1,600 meters. I mean, if he's anywhere, close to that type of rating over 2,000 meters, this should be his race to lose, isn't it, Candice?
Well, I would like to think that, Dees, yes. Just looking at the field and what he's taking on, I would think that it should be that way. And I think, obviously horses do improve as they go along, but I think, they would have to have made quite a bit of improvement. And, Brett's horse, probably the closest to him, certainly on form, has got a few links to find on him as well. And I think, for him, I think, he did go the trip last time out, or we went in 1800. And, he didn't, I don't really know, Brett would know obviously whether he did see the trip out comfortably or not. But he probably, it wasn't his best run or, his best form either. So, and then you've got Justin's Rock Pool, that he's an improving horse, but I still think he's a nice horse, and probably in the future I think he's going to probably end up being a very nice horse. But I think at this stage he's got a bit of improving to do. It would be silly of me not to say something like that. With the horse that I have, but obviously, as I say, the 2000 is a little bit of a question mark, but I feel like I'm fairly comfortable with it.
And then in closing, the train of thought in some quarters last time out was maybe that run was too close to his win in the Guineas, but he's now had sufficient time to recover after his run in the King's Plate.
Yeah, look, I mean, as I'd said before that, it wasn't easy for a 3-year-old to have those 3 runs all in a row 3 weeks apart. It's tough for anybody, and especially for a young horse that we just, expect of, because he is as good as what he is. He is still 3 years of age, and he still has to go out and do that, and it still takes its toll, and that he had a hard run in the Guineas. So for him to bounce back 3 weeks later to, put up the same kind of run in the Queen's Plate is not really easy for any horse against older horses that wait for age terms. It was a very big ask, of him. And I think had I run him tomorrow in the Queen's Plate, I think it might have been a different story. He's particularly well at the moment. He's got that fire back, if I could say that, in his work at home. He looks outstanding. I think if I ran him over any distance tomorrow, he would be fresh enough to really show that turn of foot that he has. So, yeah, we having to go the 2000, which maybe when he ran over the mile last time, he would be, better prepped to go 2000 as opposed to being a bit fresher, but I don't think that will really make much difference. So he's exceptionally well at the moment. He's had a nice gallop. He's had some good cinders work, and he's quite fresh and bouncy. So yeah, I'm very happy with him.
Well, wish you all the best, Candice. He's 3-10 for the 2023 Cape Derby.
Lovely.
And he is the top one in the anti-post pre-nominations for the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. And I suspect if he wins this, he shortens there dramatically as well. All the best with him. Let's move along to some of your other runners on the day. And, we don't need to spend a long time with them. Just, short, sharp comments if you can, Candice. We'll start off in race number 3, where you're obviously taking on Captain's Ransom. But you got 3 runners there. Gimmy's Lassie, number 2, 4 Santa Maria, and 6 Going Up.
Yeah, look, it's a very difficult ask for them to take on Captain's Ransom at those weights. My fillies are all well, all 3 of them. There's not a lot between them, I don't think. Gimme Lassie, she's got quite a nice galloping weight of 53.5. And the other 2 fillies, the one comes off a nice win on Met Day going up. I think she enjoys the 1400, and the other filly, I think, been crying out for 1400 now. So I think my fillies will run well, but yeah, they're going to have to run above well to beat Captain's Ransom, I think.
There's some exciting juvenile races on the day, and let's move along to race number 4. It's the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup. And you also have 3 runners, Candice. Number 2, Captivate, partnered by Sean Veal. Number 4, Kyalami Girl, Aldo De Meo. See, there is some anti-post betting support for her from 28-10 into 22-10 at the time of recording. And then you got horse number 12, the Charleston, who is partnered by Grant van Niekerk.
Yeah, Charleston and Kyalami Girl will be my best 2 runners. I think Captivate's maybe a little bit out of her depth here. Kyalami Girl, just really unlucky not to win first time out, just a little bit of greenness. She's come on nicely from the run. She's a very nice filly, and I think quite highly of her. So I think out of my 3, she could be the stable elect. The Charleston, she won very impressively last time, and she's doing well at home still, so she won't be too far off them. So yeah, I would see it like that, both of those 2 fillies. And I'm probably leaning towards Kyalami Girl. I think if she's made the improvement that she needs to make, I think she's definitely a runner.
The 6th race is the City of Cape Town let's get that right. The City of Cape Town, Cape of Good Hope Nursery. It's a Group 3. It's over 1,200 meters. Now, there's plenty of talk about for this horse, Gimme Lightning, Justin Snate's runner, but I'm of the opinion that you got a strong hand here with both your runners, number 1, Winter Cloud, and number 9, Distant Winter.
I would like to think so. I think the fillies, and as you probably saw on Met Day, the first 4 or 5 past the post in the juvenile listed race against the colts were all fillies.
Sure.
I know the fillies are pretty precocious at this stage of their career, sometimes a bit more precocious than what the colts are. Distant Winter, she ran on very strongly. I think she possibly could have finished a little bit closer. She was a little bit tight for running on the fence, and it was only her second start, so she is entitled to improve. She's a nice filly. I think she'll love the 1200. I'm not sure. Aldo did have the choice over the 2 fillies. I'm not convinced that. I think it's a very difficult choice to make. Winter Cloud won very impressively over a shorter trip last time. I think she's possibly a bit quicker than what the other filly is. So yeah, there's not much between them, but. Again, I think both of them are certainly in with a shout. Obviously, if there are some, very strong colts there, then, it is difficult for them to beat, will be difficult for them to beat. I mean, I don't know how good Justin's horse is. I know there's been a lot of talk about him, but certainly my fillies are in good shape, and if they can repeat their last performances, they must be factors.
Then on to the 9th race, closing off what is going to be a massive Pick 6 pool on the day, and hopefully everything is going according to plan for you, the punter, and you, the viewer. Race number 9 is the Kaya Stables Diadem Stakes. It's a Group 2 over 1,200 meters. You got 3 runners here. Number 3, Trip of Fortune, a very talented horse on his day. Number 10, Mr. Cobbs. Well, he often springs up at big prices. A horse that still has fresh legs. And then we got number 13, Fire Alley. Your 3 horses, are they worth including in if you're playing to beat a horse like Give Me a Prince and maybe even Rio Carrari?
Yeah, look, I think those are the 2 obvious horses to beat, Give Me a Prince and Rio Carrari. Trip of Fortune, I definitely would include. He's doing particularly well. He's run in the Queen's Plate. You can put a line through. He'd been sick prior to that, and I did voice that prior to going into the race that I didn't think I had enough time to get him right, but I have got him right now, and although he would be better suited to a mile, he can sprint pretty well, and I think he's nice and fresh to do that on Saturday, and he's, as I say, he's doing really well, so I definitely would include him. Fire Alley, tough one to have an opinion about, really, because he's a horse that's over a mile or 1,400. He likes to be front running or go to the front, and he never ever throws in the towel. He's been a very game horse and an honest horse. He's had that one sprint before he went up to Durban, a prep run down here over 12, which I think he won very impressively. So, obviously taking on this level of horse over the 1,200, I'm not 100% sure where he fits in with those horses. But he too is fresh and well, and he can always run a good race. And Mr. Cobbs, 1,200, not always his best trip. 1,000 is his best trip. I think the fact that he didn't get into the Cape Flying, I still don't know why. I know they worked on ratings, but I mean, he just got touched off in that race last year, and then he won the non-black type race leading up to that, and he never got a chance to run in the Cape Flying, and I think that's his best sort of trip. He's particularly well at the moment, and he's doing well. I think maybe if he sees out the 12, well, I don't even think it's a matter of seeing out the 12. I think it's the way the 1,200 is run that he prefers the 1,000. He could be thereabouts, but I cannot be reliant on him over 12.
Well, Candice, thanks for your time, and all the best to yourself and all your connections with all your runners on the day. But more importantly, and more especially for the fans of Charles Dickens, hopefully he can get the job done this Saturday and end off his Cape season on a high. And we look forward to welcoming you to KZN Champion season. You never miss out on Durban and the beautiful weather that time of the year. We look forward to welcoming you.
Thank you, Dees. I look forward to being there. We can just hopefully get Saturday out the way, and hopefully it's a successful day. It would be nice for everybody, I think. But as I say, my job is pretty much done now, and we'll just have to see how it works out.
Well, always a pleasure. Thank you for always giving up your time. We really appreciate it on behalf of Gallop TV, and all the best this Saturday. Thanks to Candice Bass Robinson, and we bid her farewell, and she's got the mighty Charles Dickens over the weekend. That's the 3-10 shot in the 2023 renewal of the Cape Derby. Up next, well, if you're watching this first, that is, we'll have Justin Snaith, and we look forward to chatting to you.